All right, guys, first thing first, we're gonna start working on the attic. I like to work from top to bottom, so we're gonna work in the attic today. So right now we're in the attic, we're working on the air handler. In case you guys don't know what an air handler is, it's basically just a big blower inside of a box. So it's very important to make sure it's clean. Why? Because it's the perfect breeding ground for mold. What do I mean? Meaning that it's dark, it's damp, and it just gets moldy, right? So if it's dark and damp and you have condensation, perfect recipe for mold, and we don't want that, guys. So it's make sure that you always clean it, the housing. You always want to make sure that we have good airflow. So you want to clean out the coil, the evaporator coil to be exact. Aside from the evaporator coil, you always want to make sure you clean that condensation trap. It's very importante, mi gente, because the condensation trap, I cannot tell you how many times people call me every year, every summer. Louie, I got a leak in my ceiling. Oh, what am I gonna do? I got water. I got a waterfall. I got the Niagara Falls in my living room. Papi, what am I gonna do? Well, the good thing is they got the HVAC Papi over here and they got the 18 right behind me to make sure that they're okay. So always clean your trap, mi gente, because it's very common. Also, you want to clean that primary pan inside. Basically, that's the pan that holds the evaporator coil inside the actual unit or the housing or the air handler, whatever you guys want to call it. Then if you have a secondary pan, which I hope you have a secondary pan, or a secondary drain pan is what we call it, is there for a reason. In case the first pan or the primary pan doesn't work, we have a backup. And that's right, guys, you have a secondary pan. That's just as important. Even if it looks clean, clean it. Doesn't matter, clean it. It's been there for a year, at least 6 months, whatever it is, and it hasn't been clean, clean it. And you're there. What does it take you to take an extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes to actually clean the pan properly? So guys, as soon as that's done, then we're gonna go into the basement. Now we're gonna go to the air handler in the basement because the air handler, well, there's two systems like I mentioned in the video. So we have to go downstairs in the basement. That's where the second air handler is located. So same thing, same sequence of operation, right? You gotta clean out the evaporator coil. You wanna clean out the primary drain pan. You wanna clean out your condensate trap. But in this case, it's a little different because the one in the attic, you have a condensate line that's going outside to your gutter or a local, a near sewer or drain, whatever it is. But in the basement, we have a condensate pump, mi gente. That's right. The reason why we have a condensate pump is because guess what? Water goes down, water don't go up, and we don't have a drain. So we have to go up and it has to be pumped outside, the actual water. So it's very important to clean the condensate pump, guys, and make sure the drain line from inside going to outside or to the drain, wherever it's going, has to be clean as well. It needs to be flushed because they get dirty too. You'd be very surprised what water does through the course of time. Well, mi gente, that's very important. So I'm glad you're paying attention today because we're not done yet. So the next thing we're doing is we're going to clean the other back of we're going to clean the condensers. That's right. The condenser, I like to say, it's like the ass of the system. That's right. The buttocks of the system, the culo of the system. Mi gente, listen, you want to make sure the ass is clean. You know what happens when you don't clean your ass? I don't know. I know what happens. Do you know what happens? Oh, so make sure the condenser is clean because it's just as important as the indoor unit. So after on the condenser, what you're going to do, you're going to take out the actual cover, right? Well, first thing first, I want to back up one step. I have to tell you guys, and I should have told you this from the beginning. Safety is first. So rewind, safety. Always shut the power first before you do any type of work to any type of unit. Why? Because water, electricity don't mix. You definitely don't want to get zapped. So that's what I'm telling you guys. Make sure you shut the power off. So let's go back to the condenser. So we're out there in the condenser, shut the power off. So take off the disconnect switch, boom, just like that, baby. You disconnect the power, so now it's safe to work on the actual condenser because you don't want to get zapped with 220 volts. Trust me, that's not a good thing. Okay, so now that we disconnected the power, now we just disconnected and removed the actual cover. Next thing is what? We're gonna get access to inside the actual condenser unit. We want to make sure there's no debris, leaves, trees, branches, dead animals. You should be surprised. Doesn't happen that often, but it happens. But make sure that the inside housing of the unit is clean, mi gente. Very important thing. I cannot stress that shit enough. But I always like to take the extra mile to do things right? So what do? We actually take an air compressor. You can buy this at your local Home Depot if you want to do it yourself. And also get yourself Papi Clean. That's our new chemical line that's dropping very soon. But not to change things around. Going back to the actual maintenance routine, we have to blow out the coils, guys. So we're going to blow out the coils from what? From inside out and inside in. What do I mean? Because remember, it's sucking air to the actual coil from outside around the perimeter of the condenser into the condenser, and it's blowing up. So that's the inlet. The outside will be the inlet, and then outside and the inside is the outlet, right? So what we want to do is any debris that's inside the coil that you cannot get with a brush, you want to blow out from inside out first. It's always recommended to do it inside out first, and then you blow it from outside in. Mi gente, we're not going to the moon. It's not rocket science, but if I'm telling you, it works. And if anything you learn from this video, make sure you pay attention to what? Detail. That's right, mi gente. So, like I said, you want to blow out the coils all around the perimeter of the condenser coil. Make sure it's nice and clean. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take out a hose. We're gonna rinse the actual coil inside and out. Some nice clean water. And then we're gonna add some chemical. And that's when the magic happens, baby. That's right. We're gonna put some of this Papi Clean. We're gonna get the best coil cleaner in the market to make sure it's nice and it's clean. So you're gonna apply some of this Papi Clean, this condenser coil cleaner, around the condenser, inside the condenser. Basically, the whole condenser is gonna have this Papi Clean coil cleaner. Why? It's gonna do the magic. It's gonna clean. So you also, right after you apply the actual chemical onto the actual condenser, and of course, you will have to mix the chemical with water. So make sure you dilute it with water. And of course, once you dilute it with water, you mix that batch right up, baby. Now you got this beautiful solution that's gonna do the job for you. So you wanna make sure that the whole condenser is covered and it's foaming up, because that's when it's doing its job. Keep it about, I would say about 15 minutes. Let it do its thing. It's doing its job. And guess what? Now, once the job is done, now you want to rinse your down. You want to rinse it outside, inside. Make sure that all the chemical is off the actual coil. Why? Because if you leave any of this chemical, it is going to damage the coil in due time. So you want to always make sure that as soon as you finish applying the chemical, you give it 15 minutes to do its thing. You always want to make sure you have fresh water, rinse your down, and you'll be good to go. So once that's done, guess what you're going to do? You're going to put everything back together. That's right. The same way you took it apart, the same way you're going to put it back together. So you put everything back together, mi gente. Hey, it's not rocket science. But if you follow my direction, you follow my lead, and you listen to the HVAC Papi, you'll get the job done and get it just right. So guys, that's how you clean the HVAC system. But wait, there's more, because we have one more thing to do in this particular house. We actually have to clean the boiler. That's right. It's a Combi high efficient Noritz boiler. I know we work on all types of brands. We work a lot on Navian, but they all pretty much do the same shit. The same mierda, if you ask me. But again, pay attention to detail. If you notice the sequence of operation, it's always the same. So we're gonna go step by step by step. The first thing is, we're gonna clean the air strainer. That's basically a filter. A strainer is basically just like a spaghetti strainer, right? We're gonna separate the water and the noodles. Well, in this case, we're gonna separate the mierda through the air coming inside the unit. So we have an air strainer on top of the unit we wanna clean. That's number one. The next thing is we have two strainers, two additional strainers, right? One on the domestic hot water side. I'm sorry, not the water, the cold water feed for the domestic water. I take that back. And then we have another one for the heating side. Notice that these two strainers particularly, they're always on the inlet side. So the cold water in for the domestic water, that's where it'll be located at. And the second one's for the heating side in the return side. Yes, the return side. Sorry, I just had to double check myself. But mi gente, it's not over right there. Meaning you still got a little bit more to do. You got to clean out the condensate pump. You also got to clean out the neutralizer. The neutralizer is the pebbles you see inside that looks like shit. Looks like one big, long booger on a big snot. But guys, that's because there's still water there. It's been there for 6 months minimum, if not a year, whatever it is, and it needs to be clean. So your job is to take out all those pebbles, the neutralizer, take it apart, clean it out. I always suggest and recommend replacing it. It's not super expensive, but if you cannot replace it, at least clean it and clean the condensate pump. Because remember I told you about before that if you don't clean the drain, we're going to have like the Niagara Falls in our basement or in the attic, wherever it's at. So we always want to make sure and always protect ourselves, protect our investment, right? Because our home is our biggest investment. So we want to make sure that we don't have any water damage. And of course, in this case, we're talking about the customer. We want to make sure that she has no water damage, because guess who's going to deal with that water problem? It's us. We're the last ones there. They're going to blame us, and we don't want that. No problemo. We want no problemas. Believe me, you want no problems, because they get very, very, very expensive, you ask me. And who wants that headache? So clean the neutralizer, clean the condensate pump. And gente, when it's all said and done, it doesn't stop right there. Meaning you have to check the system. Don't just pick up your shit and just leave. What you're going to do is you're going to finish cleaning up, taking up all your tools, wrapping things up, clean the working area, clean after yourselves, and then turn on the unit. Make sure it's cooling. Make sure it's heating. Make sure it's operating. Make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do. So, and then we're working on the boiler. Make sure it's making heat. It's making hot water. If we work on the air conditioner, make sure it's cooling. So that is what you need to do. And that's what it takes to do the maintenance. So if you learn anything, guys, pay attention to detail and do your maintenance. If you have any questions, call the HVAC Papi here at 516-377-5200 or hit the link below. Go to our YouTube channel, hey, or go to our website. Whatever it is, hit me up. I'd love to hear from you guys. Wepa.
Mi gente, it's Louie The Boiler Man, and it's time to keep your home cool. Wepa! Fuego, it's the New York Papi. Fuego, it's the HVAC Papi. Fuego, y está caliente. Louie The Boiler Man is here to cool me, gente. It's hot outside, and it's gonna get hotter. Oh, New York, boiler will cool your casa.
516-377-5200 and Louis, who you mentioned. Wepa.